Well, we're finally back and we're ready to go for the first map of the best of 3 series. Laz and Paladin to bring you through this EG taking on TeamOne for the lower bracket run. Winner moves on, losers out.
TeamOne really looking to hit him where it hurts. And it's straight into a ramp rush. George up to bat first. Oh, they fall off.
Yeah, they do fall off on this though. We haven't had a Nuke together yet in a while. But now, look at this. Oh, actually a good connection. Rush, he gets caught right in the head, but he survives with 1 HP, but he gets roasted. Ripperino, and there we go. Maluk starting things off a little fiery.
Another Goosh comes in onto George. That ramp player, the bomb should be able to go down. And it's a really difficult retake here for EG. No kits up for them as well. Playing in the front of double. This is a deadly, deadly crossfire.
Oh, it's a good flash though, but that's only a one and done though from Hex, right? But some good reply coming back. Junior with a double. Okay, so now the smoke comes in, but like you said, there is no kit, so they have to get moving. That bomb plant's already going down halfway, so now Maluk has to wait things out. He's the only player that can disrupt this. He's got to get moving. Somebody's sticking it. He's spamming away. Oh my goodness, but it's going to be the defuse. EG take the 10-second. No way.
That was just so close for comfort, but George manages to hold on, keeping his nerve to hold that. In that case, some situations players just decide to hop off of it and potentially take the fight, but he understood that he still had that smoke up. He could still hold on because that was his only real opportunity. You got to give credit to Junior with that beautiful double on the double doors in lower sight. That's not easy to get both of those kills, especially snapping up that crossfire all on his lonesome. Great start for EG to kind of pull a rabbit out of the hat. And with that bomb plant and all those kills, you'd think that TeamOne would have invested, but instead they're just going to go for some light pistols here and have a much stronger investment into the third.
Well, we do know these Deagles can definitely do something here for a team like TeamOne, but right now EG, they're doing a great job just picking up these duels one by one. And I mean, the nice thing for right now is if we can see George and Hex and even Rush finding, you know, some wins in the duels, they're going to pick up some good cash that's going to be needed here for the CSGO side. I mean, even Junior, I mean, he went for that fight. He barely wins it, but yeah, they're just scrapping this one up pretty easily. I mean, the bomb's down. They have pretty much full control of this that they want. It is picked up, but I mean, they got the read on this.
If you're TeamOne, you're looking to try to pull a QB sneak and get that bomb down in the B site, but Pesa gets found out, and it's just TRK left up trying to see if he can get a trade back on ramp. With no armor, no utility, no real information as to where any of these EG players are. And most importantly, there's only 30 seconds left. I think this one dwindles out, and TeamOne got to carry on with no casualties given over to EG in the second. Needs to die before time, and yeah, Rush handles things. So 3 kills for him, a huge amount of money minted, and Rush will definitely be happy about that.
Yeah, this is perfect because then now he can just build up the cash. He can just allow, you know, money to go for Junior. This is going to be what they want. Won't be the round here, but at least like now you can see he's sitting at $4,700, right? I mean, he's just laughing. So this is where the economy game is going to work out well here for EG. They are kind of on a bonus situation. So for TeamOne, they fully invest into this with all the AKs and the util. We'll have to see if EG want to try something a little bit more aggro with these different weapons. You're still rocking 3 MP9s. Man, you never can take out an MP9 in this map, though. Like, it can do anything, I swear.
For sure, and we've already seen some long-range duels won by the MP9s, granted against pistols, but it is arguably the best SMG in the game for a reason. So, utilizing that in the third round, I don't necessarily despise that. It makes some good economic sense, and you still have a real threat to win the round outright. Pesa's going to go through the wall of smokes here to clear out Garage. Get a lot of real estate all on his lonesome.
Oh, he might catch Junior off guard too.
Oh, it's a matter of timing, but for now, Pesa only off to really suggest that There's nobody home on that side of the map. And I think you'll have this A execute. Oh, I say
Oh no,
Vader
that
was
nade.
spotted.
Yeah, and he threw a nade too, so they definitely gave up his positioning. But he does get that kill though. He's definitely being a big distraction. But this is where we saw TeamOne. They were coming through hot. They were making a lot of noise. Like you said, they were trying to bait it off like Pesa wasn't there. They switch it around though. So now Pesa becomes kind of the distraction point. And look at this now. They're going to rush this lower site. Rush is close on by, but he's not in the best position. And George going to be close on by here too. Just trying to, again, find something in the dark here of this smoke. But okay, it's going to be TRK that's able to find that connection. And utility, only a molly now remains here for EG.
Yeah, these B-side retakes are going to be really hard to break through. At this point, any kind of economic damage would be fantastic. But IDK destroys the MP9 of Rush. And now it's a bit of a save game. Junior trying to hold on to that A1S. Hex with his own MP9. And there should be a buy left in the tank if EG can hold on to this. I think even regardless. But it'd be great to pull some rifles away. Junior can't catch the exit. But he hold on to his own rifle.
Well, it's a good pickup though. Like, I mean, even Hex like had the MP9, like you said, and now the fact he gets the upgrade for the AK. So this is a good, good situation. They can just take that one, whatever. It was a bonus, so it's not like they were expecting something to come out massive for that round. But AWP going to be on the board now, so all that fun spent here, which does come from Rush, like we talked about earlier. And I mean, we got to watch Junior. I mean, this is a player that we've talked a lot about, right? I mean, he's played some of that tier 1 level. Now he's back. He's kind of the same story as Hex, right? A little bit different teams, of course, and everything, but he's definitely been a menace here in ECL.
I mean, both of these players have chips on their shoulders. They want to prove themselves again that they can have another shot at tier 1. And they've got to do it by trouncing opponents like this. Hex on the back of the site gets 2 fully blind. Very, very necessary. But Mulbs trades things back. George brings it back into a 3v2. Only 2 HP. He gets sorted out. And it's only up to Junior. Suddenly things just get thrown into disarray. Mulbs been thrown down into the B site after all is said and done. So Junior, I don't even know if he has any route into the B bomb site to clutch this up.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the kit, but again, time is just ticking, and I think now they just realize they got to keep this up in the rotation. Yeah, so he's gonna get out of this one, and a tough pill to swallow, but amazing work coming in from Maluk though. The fact that he's able to find 2 duels like that, a little bit of over aggression that came in from EG. You can see the player on the top heaven just goes for the swing, I think a bit too quick, just allowed that one-on-one they shouldn't have given up. And now TeamOne, they claw back into a tie.
I already really like how TeamOne are conditioning and conditioning EG.CD side by moving around the map, and there's a lot of chaos in some of these plays, but it feels like they're well orchestrated and kind of at that very, very late round situation where they completely decide to pivot. You see that even after getting all of those A entries, they had already had that preconceived notion that they're going to go down to the B side and plant in the 2v1. And even in the round previously, again, moving down from the top side to the lower side, even after getting so much outside control. So super smart stuff from TeamOne thus far. And it's certainly riled up EG to start things out. It's only this AWP of Junior to really get activated, but he can't find anything outside and moves himself over on to ramp.
Yeah, a lot riding here for Junior, though. Maluk, look at this. He's just waiting things out, too. This is a good position for TeamOne. Again, look at, they got outside control pretty much for the give-in here. They have to cross this, though. This is a tough spot. And Maluk does win that duel, so now the op, I don't know how retrievable it can be. You can even see TeamOne, they're starting to get closer and closer to this now. That's a big kill. It does get picked up from Walco, so that's good. Even Hex tries to be a little bit, quick on it, but George does get a good trade back. AK retrieved, but man, it's short-lived. EG just cannot seem to find these trades fast enough.
Just USP on Rush, and it's honestly just a formality at this point. Hello. Free AK picked up over Mulb's dead body, and Rush gets another. Finishes off IDK, spots both of these players. If he can take these headshot duels, perhaps there's a way back in, and
No
Rush gets
way.
another! And the aim punch is just a little too strong. TRK manages to live with only 9 HP, but the damage is already dealt, and Rush tried his damnedest there to pull things with just a USP and no armor.
That's amazing. That is a great thing to see. I mean, I love that too, right? I mean, Rush was like, we were just kind of, you know, joking about it. We're like, ah, yeah, he's got a USP. Nothing's going to come out of this. The fact that he's able to find multi-kills like this, getting the triple, almost that quad clutch, I mean, that's good for burning the economy. Look at how low things are looking right now for TeamOne. It is a full gun run back for EG, but that's some really good economic damage right now.
Yeah, swing round of sorts here in round number 6. Junior still manages to get his own AWP out. But outside smokes coming in, Hut Molly being primed and ready by Pesa. As soon as those outside smokes come out, George decides to bow down to the lower site. The real action is coming with this top side hit. Hex called up to action, and the trades work out in EG's favor. 4v3 now. Yeah, a lot of information gained.
This is big. I mean, the fact they get that duel, the bomb's just sitting there right in front of the stairs. They have full control of this. This is a tough situation for TeamOne because now they have to win duels and they have to figure a way to get into this site. It's a good pickup here from Maluk, though. He does have that op. Rush, able to find one more. But Rush still playing in an interesting position. He's still able to find that duel, too. So now Maluk, he was a little quiet yesterday. All thanks to his teammates, but now he's on a 1v2. They're going to allow him to get this bomb, but he's making a ton of noise. He's still got some time, though. This is some big discipline from EG, and that's great angle from Rush. There you go. They bring it back just to a tie game, just like that.
I mean, the anchoring of Rush has been one characteristic of him that's been lauded in all levels of the game. He did it on complexity, he did it on optic, and I mean, he made a name for himself on that. So to see him still perform at the ECL level, it's impressive to see 10-4 now, locking things down for the Americans.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I mean, this was, you know, the EG squad. We were talking a lot about, you know, Stan and him kind of being the vets. They had a lot of experience, so it's good to see that Rush now putting himself in top fragging position. You know, and putting up some big work, like you said, being the anchor that he needs to be. This is definitely looking bright right now for EG. A very interesting setup, though, from TeamOne. I mean, they get the smoke wall, they cross into secret, but now they kind of just plant it. Again, they just want to keep EG guessing.
Rightfully so. They've realized that this conditioning has been good, and a boost spotted by Walco there on the jump peak. Lots of info gained there from the IGL. And they call Rush down to the lower site. Potentially another one on the ramp player and Junior to pivot if needed. But this secret inch continues from TeamOne as they look to pounce on this B side as they split on from single in particular.
Yeah, it's good positioning, though, because even Walco, he can be the first person. He can just go for the contact. They might not even clear this on Rush. The smoke's right in front of him. He's still expecting somebody to come through radio. So right now, he's waiting things out. He might be the element of surprise here. He could be the one that makes the difference in this round. Junior with a flick of the wrist. Okay. That'll definitely work. And Rush now just waiting for the smoke to dissipate. He might be able to get this timing. He just needs his team to be a distraction point. But I think the jig is up. But he's still able to win that fight. And now EG, they're putting their banner all over the kill feed right now. But Mulbs has something else to say. Oh my goodness. IDK with the drive-by Tech 9. All right. All right. They ain't messing around here.
I believe Mulbs had worked his way all the way around ramp, or maybe had caught a little bit of a timing on the left side. I didn't manage to catch it. But with the A1S, it completely caused disarray in the EG ranks. They couldn't figure out where he was even after that initial double. And by the time to deal with him, IDK swings from double doors and hits a beautiful double dink out of 2 players. That's a back-breaking win from TeamOne, and EG are relegated down to pistols. And with such a lax buy as well. That was marvelously done in the 2v4.
Yeah, it was looking so good, too. I mean, EG were just picking up multi-kills after multi-kills, and then, like you said, Mulbs is coming around, and then IDK, I don't even know, man. He just ran through the door with a Tech 9. He's like, yeah, I got it. It's cool. A little bit of a drive-by, and that puts him back in the gun situation. Maluk does have the AWP ready to go. Not a lot of investment right now for EG, right? Like, again, not just USPs, but a couple P2s. No util. So really, this is just about stacking and firefights now.
Yeah, Gamble could work with these pistols, but again, outside smokes come in. It's just a single mini smoke because they know the state of the situation. Okay, I say that they've smoked hell as well. They deal with Walco, and they have just free real estate on any part of the map, especially with those two powerful smokes. There's no real weaponry to contest them from Evil Geniuses, so TeamOne should have a room in the A side via Heaven. Junior,
Good crossfire.
yeah, great little crossfire.
Ooh, this could be cheeky though. Oh, never mind. No, just kidding. I was thinking that, Junior could be able to make some noise. George could maybe try to help him out. I think they still know that George is there. But, I mean, now this is coming down to the last couple seconds. The bomb should get planted easily. They do take down Rush, so it's all about George. If he can survive with this, I mean, that's probably the name of the game right now for this round. Mulbs is already honing in, and Mulbs gets that kill. There we go. Ain't letting that one happen. Back to a gun round we go, though. Should not... I doubt we'll see the op. I mean, Hex does just have over enough, but I mean, again, it's a glass cannon situation. Just wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I think they'll opt in for 5 rifles here. Make sure they have all the bits and bobs of utility. But already starting things really strong here are the Brazilians. 5 rounds on their T sides, looking good. Keep in mind, this is the map that, if any gap in the map pool was to be exploited, it's this one from Evil Geniuses. They're trying to dive down the vent. They managed to get down. TRK takes a ton of damage, but they managed to get to lower. With how quickly they are here, they can swing over single as soon as they take ramp contact. So a lot of opportunity here for TeamOne to capitalize.
Yeah, it was a bit sketchy of a push, though. I mean, again, this is where we saw it from TeamOne yesterday. I mean, they did a good mixture of the playbook, switching things up. I mean, I like that aggression, catching their opponents off guard. It does work, but like you said, the cost of TRK being already 30 HP, hasn't seen anybody. That was just all utility damage and spamerinos, but now they just park the brakes again. Waiting things out. Nothing against EG yet. They haven't found any damage or any kills yet. Very interesting situation.
I think they want to just gather just a little bit more information. They send Maluk out to patrol alongside Pesa. And they'll cross late to just split onto this B bomb site because, again, they've got all that secret control. Walco does spot out both Pesa and Maluk, but the trade goes over to Pesa, and this should spring the trap into the lower site.
Well, this is some good control coming in from TRK. I mean, he's already in radio, so now he's going to try to use the molly to just flush out the one corner. And Junior, I think Junior is actually running in it. Yeah, and even Rush too. He gets a little bit of a tap. Bomb's going to get planted, though. I mean, again, the man advantage here for EG, but utility is lackluster. They do have, well, not lackluster, but I mean, in terms of the mollies, it is lackluster. They got the smokes ready to go. And now it's all about TeamOne. They're going to need to figure out a way to win these duels. They've been able to do it before. And look at this, EG. They're just ready to pounce into this. Some good flashes coming in. Hex now making his way into this. Walco does take down Mulb, so that's a big heavy hitter gone. That's another kill, so now it's just down to TRK. It's only a one and done, and EG...
There's no kits.
Oh my goodness, they don't even have the kits for the defuse, and TeamOne run the clock. And they take it with Hex going down to the explosion too. Ay, caramba.
Oh, that's an ugly one. That's a real ugly one. I don't think there was enough awareness that they didn't have the kit up. They had the right read. I mean, they smoke off radio. You smoke off single door. You crunch out of the backside of it. Clear out some of those players that can guard the bomb. And Evil Geniuses, I mean, honestly, that round should never be lost, but taking a little bit too much time, things collapse, And TeamOne, TRK especially, gets that 1 kill needed to get them off the bomb. Super, super valuable round there to capitalize on. And again, it's going to collapse the CT economy with how fragile all these rounds have been. It's tough for them to stay in this half thus far. And 10 rounds in, they look really, really weak.
Yeah, I just can't believe they made that kind of a mistake. Such a costly thing to lose a round 2. So now it's going to be just TeamOne coming in with a full rush into the site. The pistols do start things off kind of nicely, but it's a quick cleanup again. These last 2 heavy-hitting rifles going to be the only thing for EG. We got some util. See the smoke going to be placed into this. I don't know. Do we see it, though? I mean, that nade connecting on EG.Walco, that could change things now. Yeah, I think they're going to pack their bags, man. They just realize, again, it's a tough situation to go for.
Yeah, you're kind of expecting the pistols in the upper sight to do some sort of damage and make it viable. But as soon as that one way goes down and nothing's really offered up in heaven, it's tough to just get your way back in, especially with an AWP no less. So it's totally fine to save these rifles that they saved for the previous and have another crack at it. But it is slowly getting too little too late, right? Another one of those scenarios where TeamOne have triumphantly taken 7 rounds on their T side and are feeling quite comfortable here.
Well, I mean, and this is the thing too. This roster of EG, I mean, they haven't had a lot of time to play this map, so I mean, for them, it's not the greatest showing. But this is again a map that's, you know, TeamOne they like playing. They're 6-1 on it. I mean, we're talking an 85% win rate on this, so that's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not shabby. They're just getting it for free. I mean, again, like EG's really not contesting this. It seems like their game plan is just allowing that outside control, but we haven't really seen a full amount of, you know, reply back or kind of the plan why they're doing this. I feel like it's just giving up a ton of real estate. I mean, this is a sketchy position for Junior because if he misses this shot, he's a dead man. Like, he has to hit this shot. Flash comes in, he misses, and okay, I mean, I guess he's got some movement. I thought they were going to be able to pounce on him a lot faster than that.
Whew, these flashbangs are perfect. They understand the flight paths of where Junior can hold on to every which way. And meanwhile, TRK, the ramp lurk, comes out to perfection, getting a kill on the IGL of EG.Walco. So much real estate. Hex is the only one with some forward positioning and Squeaky. But if carefully checked by TRK, this could also be null and void. And now the information's been gained. Another great trade from TRK. And they should have control of the upper side. A plant is on the cards. And we're into the 3v3 retake. Kits are up, and there's a molly and a smoke as well. So there's room to maneuver George a little too early on the trigger rush trades. But a lot of information given on over to TeamOne.
Okay, so we do have a kit on one of the players. Junior does have it ready to go if they can use it. A molly still that's going to be thrown. They're going to clear off the close corner. Pesa, though, playing the high ground, does find 1 kill. So now Junior has to get moving. The op's out. But he just runs right in the crosshair for IDK. So an 8th round is gained and guaranteed for TeamOne. And like you said, I'm kind of seeing here from EG a lot of, you know, over peaks and a little bit of over commitment. Like, this is it right here. I feel like George went a bit too quick for that. He could have just waited. They could have found the trade opportunity, but I don't know. Maybe he thought he was feeling it.
Yeah, those 3v3s, those are the types of rounds that could decide the match. You know, it's the biggest advantage or even situation that you have to kind of pull things back into your favor, and you want to capitalize on those opportunities as much as possible. Finally, some outside aggression from Evil Geniuses. Granted, it's just with the pistol on George, but this is necessary. You want to kind of set some disarray and garner some respect out of TeamOne, because right now they're getting so much of the map for free. They go outside, they take all of warehouse for free. They can go down secret all they please. They can vent dive, they can go out ramp and win the duels there. So aggression from Junior here gets them that opening. And you've still got George stuck in close under silo as well. So finally some opportunities to speak of for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, this is definitely good. I mean, we needed to see EG finding those opening duels to get something started, right? I mean, it's been lackluster. Now even George playing a lot more aggressive too. Like you said, that outside presence does catch face off guard, so now he's able to pick up a gun too. This puts him in a massive advantage. But let's not forget that George doesn't have armor either. Did somebody slip by Hex?
Yeah.
Oh man, Hex though, he's gonna get bailed out from George. And there we go. TeamOne just kind of run into a bit of a blender. Nobody gets taken down from EG. That's a massive pickup. I mean, they get free guns. Double ops now secured. That's a big round. Bit of a blunder, though, from TeamOne.
And that's just the real change up that Evil Geniuses needed. They needed a little bit of aggression and demand a little bit more respect from TeamOne. Aggression from Junior into lobby. And then George on the outside aggression as well. And that's what they needed to stop this streak of rounds building up from the T's. And this time it's Junior going aggressive outside in a mini. Gets himself lodged in a secret. Oh, and here just comes a walkout, a free little contact play from TRK, and it hits Walco square in the face. Hex up to bat, but they're going straight down to the B site, Laz.
Yeah, they made it down already. George's timing's a little bit off now. Surely you must have heard this, but George does find a kill. Bomb plant's going to be secured, so they get it. It's a guaranteed plant, so they got that plant money too, so that's big. Junior, or actually, sorry, Junior. I thought it was going to be Junior, but it's Rush with an off. He's able to find a nice connection. And there we go. The ops are really starting to sing right now. Just leaving it to IDK, and there we go. Double sticks, man. They prevail here. They make some work happen.
Yeah, caused a little bit of surprise there. That slow peek on ramp side, late lurk. Rush was very privy to understanding what was coming. And this time it works out. The anchoring duties done well by George in the top site. And even though they bound down into lower, George is there immediately. So well handled. Finally, economic advantage over to Evil Geniuses. And a sigh of relief as they should be able to confirm their 6th here. And potentially tie us up at the half after a dismal streak against themselves.
And now it's a full rush into the ramp. It is going to be Rush, though. He's able to find some multi-kills. Junior does get a good trade back. Junior and Walco takes him out. All right. Yeah, Walco's just spamming smokes, I guess. And it's a bit of a casualty, but no more could be good here for EG. I mean, they've already lost 2. I think that op is retrievable. I mean, Maluk right now, I mean, he's just banking for another kill. If he can find one more, I feel like this is a good success point right now, considering what they had for this.
Honestly, at this point, with how late we are in the half, it might not be enough to kind of cause a tough buy in round number 15. But regardless, more money in his pocket might be the name of the game. To have that strong buy going into the final round of the half. But he gets his weapon of choice. And perhaps he's just considering to save this outright. Because he's got 2,700 in the bank. He could buy for himself outright. But Hex is very, very aware of these save shenanigans. Boxes him in. And TeamOne take a timeout to discuss how to close out this half.
Yeah, I think this is much needed. I mean, we're going in the last round of the first half. I mean, this is important. I mean, they had a big lead. EG have now made their climb back. We were really talking. It was looking a little stale here for the EG side of defensive work, but it's starting to get a little bit more cleaned up. The money situation, again, they can have a full rifle round here. I can't imagine we're going to see the glass cannon off from Maluk. I just don't feel like that's going to be the play, but all right, there it is. Okay, good. Confirmation made. I was like, surely not. Not for round 15, right?
No way. And now TeamOne, I mean, you got to be kind of disappointed with how the half has run away from you at this point. You had the opportunity to potentially run away with this match just outright with the 8-round streak that you had. But now you're grasping at straws. You want to have all the momentum going back in towards you. And that's a way to start it to secure a 9th potentially. Pesa catches out Junior. And now it's mission rescue for Walco to get out of T-Red. As those smokes fade, his position is going to get very, very worrying. So they flash him in. They allow him to push forward. And he gathers a lot of information. But he hasn't noted about Pesa. It still wins the fight. So Walco gets away with a lot there. A lot of information.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, especially the fact that we saw that Junior gets taken out that fast. I mean, the fact that he gets a trade, that's good. Does some more damage against the TeamOne right now. TeamOne now going to throw the smokes going into the connector, so they might even try to just go for this inside barrel again. It has worked out for them before, but instead they're going to switch things up on ramp. It's a bit of a fake, and now Rush joining you with George. George needs to land these shots, and there it is. An Evil Genius's 1-2 punch. It does land, and now it's just down to Maluk on the 1-on-4. We're determining a 9-6, or this could be the 8-7, and it is going to be an 8-7. We will take that halftime break. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, told you it wouldn't be that long, but we're back for the second half. TeamOne had a massive lead, and it seems like it was a bit of a massive failure as they barely hold on to that lead. Laz and Paladin to bring it through here on Nuke for the second half.
Evil Geniuses find a way to quell that TeamOne erratic T side. And now they've got to figure out a way to dole out the same kind of pain. Comes down to this pistol. Dualies for Mobs on the top of Hut. Super powerful position.
Yeah, Mob's playing a good position, but actually he's only good for one, surprisingly. But Pesa! All right. Pesa able to find the 2-piece, making it the 3, and there we go. A convincing pistol round comes in, and man, they just put on a barrier, and they don't let EG at all in this party.
Yeah, I thought Mobs would get most of the legwork done there, but a quick little 2-piece at the tail end of that clip, and he closes things out against Walco, stops the clutch from happening. Very important pistol to convert for TeamOne as they look to garner back some momentum, because in all honesty, it felt like the map was starting to slip away. Keep in mind, this is the map that they need to convert. They find a way to get an actual map advantage. It's got to be done through Nuke.
Well, yeah, let's not forget this was their pick. So I mean, for TeamOne, they definitely want this. Said, and yeah, it's looking like this one's a pretty good one. Nice little scrap arena, and it's a bit of a just aim session. I mean, the fact that Mulbs is able to find 3 kills. Again, it's just so important with the MP9, right? I mean, just adds more bank for the dollar here for the CT sides. 10 rounds guaranteed now. EG have struggled to get that bomb down, but they are going to be able to commit to the plant. Or, sorry, the plant, not the commit to the purchase here for the AKs. I think that's going to be the right move and see if they can bring things back.
They opt in for 5 rifles this time around, EG. And TeamOne continue their bonus semantics. Famas out deep into secret immediately. So already a little bit of aggression as this half begins. Already a difference in comparison to Evil Genius's early half shenanigans. George on the top silo looking for something offered up, but thus far we stay tight in the 5v5 default as EG park the brakes and gather a little bit of information.
Well, despite the lack of experience here for EG on this map as like the new roster, I mean, their T side seems to be their stronger point. I mean, just barely. I mean, we're talking about like 2%, so it's really not that much. But I mean, it is something we know. So it does make me wonder a little bit if them being on the T side could change things up just a little bit more. But kind of a particular stance, though. I mean, look at this even now. They're going outside. They don't really have any smoke walls or anything coming through. They're actually taking that pretty quietly. Maluk with the FAMAS, not able to find that shot. So he does do a lot of damage to George, but he can't get the job done.
And that opens up a route into the B bomb site. TRK blows open the door, as he is really the only point of attack here. But they've drawn in that rotation from IDK as well. And instead of full committing, they're just going to go through mini as Hext is ready up in hut. It's just Mobs to attend.
Oh, man, that's a big kill from George, too. And look at that. EG, time's ticking, but they should be able to get this bomb down. I mean, that was a little close for comfort for me, but yeah, this is a great pickup. Look at this. 1-2, now leaving it just down to TRK. I mean, they're not probably in the position they want to really hunt this, but I mean, it's a good position here on top of the silo, and oh, it's Walco, and okay, he's gone. Man, that's the MP9. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it wins a fight like that.
That's tough. You got to get those dinks. But what a round called there from Walco. Loved that presence being shown down in the lower site. And instead of just gunning it and trying to run over TRK, they pivot back over to Mini, and they know that they have already topside control in some ways. They've got Rush parked in Hell, and they've got Hext sitting in lobby, and they just crunch onto Mobs. There's no way he can get a multi-kill if they're coming from all avenues. And that's just a brilliantly orchestrated round there from EG. Of course, the headshots are also sublime, but the way they get there was also just as well done.
Yeah, very convincing round that we see from EG, and we haven't really seen too many of those so far here from map 1, but kind of a funny purchase we're going to see here from TeamOne. Now some outside control coming in from TeamOne. They're going to press on through. Pesa now close on the combat situation, but EG do find that opening duel. They get the pick. They take down Mulbs. He was getting aggressive in the hut. And now IDK trying to play close to the door, but he's just going to get slammed on through, and there we go. EG just finding kills again. And now TeamOne, they're in a position that they have to save these guns. They put a lot of investment in for this, maybe go for some flank, but they don't even have kits.
Yeah, this is definitely a save. It really sucks because TeamOne decide to switch things up. They try to take outside control, but the direct counter comes in. Mini gets smoked off. And Evil Geniuses just get some beautiful little trades going through Hut. And all of that outside control is rendered irrelevant. Pesa and Maluk, tried as they might, could not get anything going. And Evil Geniuses will chalk themselves up to a ninth. That's the full investment there from TeamOne. All the funds they could expunge. And now, all they're left is with these 2 rifles, and they'll have to go down to pistols. We're potentially looking at a tie game here from Evil Geniuses if they can convert this anti-eco.
Well, I mean, we saw, a few times for TeamOne, they've done well in these situations where they have, like, the 1 or 2 rifles and people work around it. But, I mean, now those are different maps and different teams and different situations. But maybe something can come out of this one. But EG have looked really clean on their executes. Honestly, flawless, I would almost say, too. It's very convincing. What a change that we see for the first half, too.
Yeah, a lot more decisive in their ideas. It's working out wonderfully thus far. Pesa, the only one of 2 saved rifles this time around, activates immediately. There goes the other one. Junior and Walco chime in, and they destroy the ramp presence that TeamOne decided to set up. Only really Pesa to attend to the matters in the lower site. So he bounds his way down. But TeamOne are in Evil Geniuses are in no rush. The bomb is still outside of lobby. Now they'll take their time. It's still 1:11 on the clock. And IDK searching for something. And that something is that AK-47, not spotted by Rush. I think he just had given up the angle slightly there. And the damage is already done. IDK has retrieved the smoke and the AK. But as time starts to dwindle, Evil Geniuses have to start to make a move. They've got all this ramp presence, and I think the consideration is just to go down to the lower site and go head on to, I think, Pesa, but he's gone.
Yeah, it's a great pickup, too. That was, again, one of the rifles, too. So they might actually use Walco in this position here from heaven. He might be able to, again, catch these guys off guard, but IDK goes for the swing. Okay, nope. That ain't it. Now Mulv's by himself, USP, and oh, there we go. They know exactly where he is. And there we go. 1 casualty only. EG bring it back to a tie situation. Money still available here for TeamOne, though. Maluk does have enough funds that he could commit to this op, and he will do that.
It will be glass, though.
It will be a glass, though, yeah.
And credit to Evil Geniuses for pumping the brakes there, understanding that there would have to be a little bit of a hunt for information from the CTs, and it gets punished. They say that only saved rifle can't get involved enough. And this sets us up into an even situation. I'm really happy to see that there is a game plan here from EG, and they look really, really clean. I'm not going to lie. These defaults look really, really well orchestrated. And TeamOne really have got to keep their wits about them here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing too is that we're seeing everybody from EG, they're contributing, right? I mean, look at the frags. I mean, everybody is pretty much neck and neck, close by, like what, like maybe 3-ish kind of off from each other, a little bit more than that. So that's a good thing to see. It's not like one player is just, holding all the weight here. Everybody's contributing in terms of, utility usage and as well as the frag department. Now they mix things up. Paladin, they actually try to go for the smoke wall, but Pesa does find that timing really well, and George was caught off guard. He was throwing flashes. He was trying to get, in his position for aggression.
Looks like that L block smokes had all missed, and George peeks before the smoke blooms, gets his head ripped off by Pesa, that outside player, and it's Hex with an incredible entry onto the top side. It's IDK up to bat, mollied, caught between a rock and a hard place, and that flash, it catches him incredibly unawares. Rush with a beautiful 2-piece, leads it into the 2v4. Pesa gets one back. But lads, I think this is quite the difficult retake.
Yeah, it really is. And again, no kit, right? So now they have to get moving a little bit faster than normal. Some nades going to be thrown into the site, but Rush just annihilates them. And with Pesa going down, Maluk has to save. The old op boom, and now EG. They might even go for a little bit of a hunt. They can sense him. Maluk, gonna go for the trigger discipline. Won't even commit to the kill, and that's the right play. They didn't clear this, so he should be fine there. But now EG have taken the lead. That isn't something we've been able to say yet here for map 1.
I mean, that's the firepower from Hex that turns some heads in the tier 1 camp as well. His first bullet can be absolutely deadly. And that shot onto the top hut player, it's not easy. So Evil Geniuses this time around dig themselves out of a hole individually alongside Rush as well. And earn themselves the lead in a different manner this time.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but Hex made it look easy. I mean, like you mentioned, that's the beauty of what he brings to the table. And now Maluk able to find that first dual contact that does go in favor for them. It's been EG that's been successful in that, but the CT's now working around that a little bit more, and they are relying heavily on IDK and Maluk now with these rifles. But back to a 4-4. And this is the thing we noticed, right? I mean, EG, they just kind of pump the brakes. They play really slow. They're really not over-aggressing anything. Junior might get overextended.
Oh,
He
no.
still wins that fight. Oh my goodness, I thought Maluk had him dead to rights.
Awkward fight there for Maluk. He gets punished, and so does his teammate Pesa. A real opportunity there for the CTs to pull something back. And, I mean, both of these remaining players are so spread out at this point that just a smart trade game from Evil Geniuses should just solidify themselves at 12. They gang up onto the squeak side, or I say that. More so the hut position. And Walco takes care of things himself. And no harm, no foul. 1 kill given over, but at the end of the day, 12 is red on the top of the scoreboard. And Evil Geniuses continue to march towards a potential map steal on Nuke.
Well, let's not forget too. I mean, the fact that EG are winning these rounds in pretty convincing numbers. I mean, even this, that little bit of a replay showed us that 3 players survive. It's good here for the money game. I mean, Rush is sitting at 12K, like over 12K, and now they're going to switch things up. They're going to be a bit more aggressive. Pesa as well. So now, Pace has been in positions like this before. He could be that thorn in the side, maybe. Maluk able to find that again, first contact, and there it is. Pesa does give up his position though, and there's a good trade back now from EG, but still an advantage in terms of the player count here for TeamOne.
They should be still aware that Maluk is trapped in warehouse. They're trying to find a way to single him out. They've used all their flashbangs, and Junior doesn't want to opt in for his own. But Maluk finds a way out, and he spots him on top of T-Red, but can't hit the shot. Gives a lot of room for Junior to breathe. He can just stay posted. Maluk continues to try to make his escape. Has to burn his smoke and head for the hills in hell. But this topside crossfire, it's pretty dangerous. I mean, at this point, if you want to try to contact, you've got to find a really, really swift kill here. There it is.
Yeah, that's a big one from Hex. The fact that he's able to win that first duel, that just gave him the key to the site. Maul's not, again, just not able to get that, double kill trade. That's a tough situation. It is a dangerous crossfire, but EG have figured out the blueprint of that. So now back to a 2-2. Bomb is planted, and again, no kits. Let's not forget, no diffusers here for the CT side. So as long as that we can see the time getting burned here a little bit from Rush, he could be able to win this, but it's down to him with 32 HP. Changing up his position. He's over-peaking this. He doesn't go for the fight, or he tries to go for the fight, but it doesn't work out for him. And they should be able to have enough time. Yeah, they will. And that's going to be a round gained here with a 1-round difference.
Well done to DRK and Maluk there. Maluk holding his cool, not being overzealous on top of heaven, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. And as soon as he Molotov's hut, they know that the only place where a fight can come through is through Squeaky. And TRK is ready. Nice attempt from Evil Geniuses to try to split open that A side. Hex gets that initial kill onto the Rafters player, and Rush spins around to get another trade. But you got to give credit to the Brazilians to hold their cool there and pull that one over the line.
Yeah, and I like that they're actually the ones that called this timeout too. So the fact that they win that round, they're just going to, like you said, cool things off. Going to figure out the game plan here. I mean, we're talking a 1 round difference. Again, this is where the pressure starts to build up. I mean, we talked a lot about these vetoes, but this is their map pick. So for them, it adds a little bit more pressure. They're really banking on winning this map to get themselves, you know, feeling a little bit more comfortable going into a BO3, where we think that if it goes for TeamOne, this is a big possibility. We do see that 3-map series.
Love to see it with how deep we are in the playoffs. You really want to see it all the way through. Get to as close as completion as possible. And this time, the entry of Hex has gone down. A huge bargaining tool for Evil Geniuses off the table now. And George has to find another way to pull Evil Geniuses back into this one. Outside smokes come through. And there will be control behind it. Clear out Africa. Ooh, perfectly timed flash.
That was amazing. And that allowed Pace to just go for a quick peek, a quick kill, get on out of there. And EG again are trying to be that, you know, slow, methodical play, and it's starting to get pulled apart slowly here from TeamOne. Oh, Pace again. Okay. He's able to go for the crab, and he gets it, man, and that's a 2nd kill for him now. I mean, there's only 40 seconds left. I mean, Junior does find a quick kill, though, but, I mean, if they want any chance of getting this bomb down, they got to get going now.
Ooh, EG.Walco had an opportunity to spot the backpack of Maluk, but it was an extremely blink-it-you-miss-it moment. And it just leaves Junior stuck in secret. And TeamOne, these individuals are starting to like have a little bit more room to breathe. You see Pesa taking some more individual plays there, getting a little bit more confidence. And EG, that's not what you want. You want to find a way to quell these Brazilians. They're definitely gaining in terms of individual prowess. And Junior holds on to his AWP. Plenty of money to burn through on the rest of the board. 10k on Rush, 9k on EG.Walco. So they should have at least room to work with for the rest of this map, or regulation at the very least, if we need it.
Yeah, it's definitely getting tight now. But full equipment here from both sides. Maluk goes for the quick peek, but Junior gets the better of him. Man, he's been dominant in these op-on-op duels. He's been winning them. Junior seems to have the answer, but that's what we talked about. This is where Junior brings a lot of experience to the table for the EG team, and now they go for the ramp control. TRK, though, a little bit of peekaboo. He's able to find 2 more, but it is, again, EG. A bit of an interesting position. They still have that bomb control, but it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit weird, and now Mulbs, he just has to frag out what he's known best to do. And Hex is low, Paladin. I mean, he's down to 10. This is definitely a winnable situation.
Certainly a possible clutch. But the bomb has not gone down in the lower site. Junior is still outside, still patrolling. As soon as he spotted Mulbs earlier on in lobby, he wanted to reroute himself. But Mulbs has found the rotation of a century, catching Junior completely off guard. And surely he's misplaced where Mulbs is located and where Hex is located. But his position is known now. And Mulbs swings out. Huge clutch from Mulbs. So smart in the context of that one. Finding a way to reorient himself and completely hoodwink Evil Geniuses. That's everything, man.
Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, this is a great play from Mulbs, but I'm just a little bit curious from Junior. I guess the thought was, like, if I go outside, you know, we know that he's playing around the inside corridor. That's a tough one though. But I mean, again, like, how do you how do you not credit Mulls for what he did? He went for the big rotation. He came all the way around. His timing was impeccable, and he comes up big. And this is a player we talked a lot about. He's somebody that needs to pull up through. EG called this timeout, and rightfully so. I mean, that was a round that they really shouldn't have lost any given day, but that's the thing about TeamOne. You have so many players that can just pop off at any single moment.
Yeah, those are the types of rounds that could just be that knockout blow to secure yourself, Nuke, and we already spoke about in the context of the series. Potentially, the entire series hinges on this map itself. So, I think that Evil Geniuses will definitely be kicking themselves. They want to quell the nerves a little bit more. They understand that they've still got a huge advantage in terms of how they're running around TeamOne with their T sides. They'll try it once again. Another L block smoke variation. Void out Maluk's position. I believe there's a missed smoke on top of Big Garage there. Yeah. And so there still will be room for Maluk to get to work. But it's going to be this outside pressure again. Sorry, this inner pressure again. And Mobs, he's got to call up to another huge task. But Hexton Rush, time in and time out, are getting these entries. And now it's Junior as well.
Yeah, but IDK's in the back of the site. But Junior, he's able to find multiple kills. Maluk gets one more before he hits the grave. And EG, man, they just pincer into the site. They've done so well with it, and they go right back to the bread and butter, and it brings it back to a tie game situation. And look at what happened to the money now. Look at what has happened to TeamOne.
Yeah, that's backbreaking for sure. They'll have to give over 14 here. But credit to Evil Geniuses, again, causing a huge amount of distraction. Even with those missed L block smokes, they showed just a little bit of actual player presence, and that was enough to rattle them. Even with the triple stack setup, they trade so effectively on the top site. Hexton Rush have just been good for so many of these kills. And you gotta really give them credit with their first bullet accuracy.
Yeah, it's been a long time. This is what we wanted to see, right? I love this addition. I think this is allowing George to feel a little bit more comfortable for these duels too. Like you said, you've talked a lot about what Hex can bring to this team, not just from the TeamOne experience, but his role entirely with this roster. I think we're definitely starting to see that. This is looking like a pretty good shipment that we're seeing here from the EG side right now.
And now this should be a formality. Both these players on the lower site from TeamOne, they should have all this outside control. They'll take Heaven eventually. Systematically clearing this upper site, making sure that they cross their T's, dot their I's. We're at this tail end of Nuke, and you want to retain as much as possible heading into these final rounds. No room for error.
Yeah, for EG, if they can keep a lot of these players alive too, this will be a really good situation. Right now, TeamOne. Oh, Junior? Junior? Oh, I was talking about keeping everybody alive. Apparently that's not it. I caster cursed Junior there, apparently, but... I mean, they're not going to be able to pick up the gun, but again, they're just looking for kills. They're just trying to get everything done before the timer. There we go. They lose two, though. I mean, it's not really going to be the end-all, be-all, but I mean, it's just something you shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, a little dicey there, but the op is still picked up, no problem. And we spoke about trying to avoid as many mistakes as possible. A couple slip-ups there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, all's well that ends well in terms of Evil Geniuses at the end of the day. 14 still reads true.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the timeout from TeamOne, and again, they've done a lot of timeouts. You know, we were talking about that yesterday, right? We're like, yeah, TeamOne doesn't really call timeouts, apparently. They didn't want to. They don't want to do that against Destiny, but now things are getting tight. This is a little close for comfort, I think, but they have a lot of investment for this round, and you talked about swing rounds. Well, this could be one.
I mean, this is the swing round to decide all swing rounds at this point.
The swing rounds of all swing rounds. One swing round to rule them all.
Exactly.
Well, Hex once again. Good utility work to throw the molly just in mini there, but it's not a rush inside. It's not anybody going down the vents. Just making some good noise. Keeping TeamOne on their toes. Giving up a lot of control right now, so lobby is secure for EG. No lobby crunch from TeamOne. Nothing really outside yet. Does have the lurk of George just playing outside too. I think that's Pesadello deep in outside garage too. Just playing on blue box. TRK has played the spot a few times, Paladin, so I don't know if EG will expect it again, but it was successful for him earlier on.
Yeah, it's a powerful headshot angle. I'm sure he doesn't mind it. But it's really a stalemate there. It's outside that requires the attention of TeamOne. They want to flash themselves through and get a little bit more information to see if it's a hoax or not. And they figured it out. They know that this is going to be a ranked play, but it doesn't matter. TRK's head gets completely ripped off, and they should have lower sight control. How fast are these rotates? IDK is here as well as Pesadello, but there's a timer on this. Evil Geniuses have got to step on the gas.
Yeah, and look at that. They all commit to the swing too, so Pace is not even able to find one kill. It's down to Mobs with the FAMAS. He's down to 5. Flash comes in. Hex gets the job done.
That's
and these two rifles, they have to save it. Yeah, there's no way. We talked a lot about the money. That's why they called the timeout. They realized the pressure of this round. And man, EG just coming with the pedal to the metal. And they have put themselves on a 15th round on the map pick here for TeamOne.
Yeah, cool call outside. You saw that they're trying to pull the wool over TeamOne's eyes. And I like the counterattack with TeamOne searching for information by flashing through those smokes and checking if anyone was home. And as soon as they realize, they try to scamper out of the lower bomb site, and they actually get there in time. But Evil Geniuses, man, their entries have just been so swift. Hex and Walco this time around knock some heads off and secure themselves map point. Very well done. And at this point, it's last chance saloon here for TeamOne.
Well, they've been in this position before. It's definitely not the first, but now they have everything against them. The backs are on the boards. They have to pick up this round if they want to push everything to the full distance of 30. It's a scrappy purchase indeed. EG right back to their setup. Getting everybody in position. No outside major control coming in from TeamOne. They're going to be a bit more passive on this one. Hasn't been the most successful thing for them. I mean, it's been, we'll say, a solid okay, but they are really just turtling things up now, Paladin.
Yeah, they're really afraid. This is very anti-TeamOne, where they love taking these individual peaks, but at this point they realize this is for the map. This is for potentially a huge advantage in the series. And they just want to play the crossfires. They just want to secure 14, put the pressure back onto Evil Geniuses to close it out in regulation. And again, they throw outside smokes, but this time, instead of going out of the lower site, I think they're thinking about an upper execute. But there's 3 players here, Laz.
Yeah, a lot of anticipation for this one, too. I mean, now the nade's going to be thrown. 40 seconds ready to go. TeamOne know this is the execute. Mulb's able to find that first opener. EG now kind of slowing down on the tracks. They're needing to find something, and I think they're trying to make it look like a fake or something, but now the bomb's exposed. That is the worst thing you could see here, and there we go. TeamOne. They pick up a 14th. And EG, a bit of a blunder now as we go into the 30th round. They still have that lead by 1, but everything has come down to this.
Yeah, stoic stuff from TeamOne to stick to their guns, keep that triple top sight set up. And Evil Geniuses just get caught into the blender. As soon as that initial utility doesn't net them anything, they kind of have like a deer in the headlights type moment where they want to find an alternate solution, but there's no time, there's no real options. They've just got to commit to that upper side, and things work out beautifully for TeamOne. There's no chance for a trade to happen this time around. And What a time for economic concessions to come out. Rush with the Tech 9 has to make do. He's been huge on some of these trade frags onto the upper site. But being relegated down to just a pistol, it's going to be tough to replicate that same kind of success.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see, though, Rush almost pushing 30 kills for this one. I feel like that's something we just haven't really been able to see for a little while, and I talked a lot about him before, right? I mean, being a vet player. The last, OG, I guess we can say.
Oh!
Okay, yeah, there it is, George. A little bit of an activation here, and nice. A little bit of a jiggle peek. Now gets that first opener here for the EG squad. Mixing things up now, Paladin. They've actually taken that ramp control. It's been given up here from TeamOne.
Yeah, huge hole in the defense. And Evil Geniuses sink their teeth right into that part of the map. And Rush has got another one. Walco another. This defense has completely collapsed. They've taken ramp and they've taken potentially the map here. Only IDK and Pesadillo up to bat. Pace on the upper site. Caught between a rock and a hard place. A near impossible scenario. And to have their map pick snatched away from them potentially, that would just be heartbreaking, especially with the start that they had last, an 8-1 T-sided start. And it's just IDK to try and push them into overtime, but it's not happening. Hex closes things out, and it's an absolute hoodwink, 16-14 for EG Black.
Yeah, what an amazing match. I mean, that was really right down to the tactics, and I mean, it came down to the 30 rounds, and that's kind of the thing about Nuke. I mean, it could either be a full